Millions of my accidents. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole. Was never expected to grow. This obstacle set in the road. That a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery true energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding. But I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles are making it so I'm capturing everyone surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slump. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Just dish served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Yeah. Cold shit.
I ain't come with goons, but I'm well connected. Walk in the room, it's pop, 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 like you got rejected. Let me see if you qualify or not. Spinning up in a tinted truck, riding around your block. Busy man. I get a word, he ain't this shit from top to bottom like a motherfucking ceiling fan. Hopping out the rental van, on my way to LAX. Brothers out in Cali and they killers out of every set. But I ain't crippin' on no blood. One West, all my niggas got it out the mud. Put your face on a t-shirt, memory of niggas acting tough in them songs, that's the drugs. I don't need no cases, all my pistols clean. So now I weigh my options. Used to use the triple beam. Used to get the wop, mix it with the nicotine. Now I travel state to state and put on for my team.
The fuck wrong with them? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get them. I see niggas and they feelings all feel them. Keep the Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with it. Me at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one west, go to war with everybody. Cut the grass for the snake, fuck the gossip. Front line with them soldiers, that's my posture. Gun drawn, trying to curse an imposter. She get out the pocket, go to war with everybody, yeah. Shit that hate make it to the featherweight. Niggas say they hard, but they sweeter than a dedication. Hold on, think it's time to introduce. I'm a man and a beast and a step and a rope. Hold on, and a G and a soldier and a mover. Hold on, and a killer and a prophet and a shooter, nigga. Trying to stay humble, my shit crazy. Cold leader, need the blue stripes, no brick baby. Can't be serious, you a funny boy, young fly. Look wrong, must be a dummy, I ain't gun shy. Fuck that little bitch, she a hook. Nigga swear he the go, bring him to the bush. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. Niggas in their feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with it. Be at the end, gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? What's the problem? I'm one west, go to war with everybody.
I'm from Philly, you get hot, you catch a cold case. I'm one west, these brothers trying to set my soul straight. They done turned me to a prophet from a demon, and I'm locked in this shit and I ain't leaving. Never. Ski mask transform to war mode like I'm Voltron. Stamp on my head and my chest from the most high. Put something tight around your neck like a bow tie. Got my niggas waiting charged up like they phone died.
Red letter, drip clean, it looks so fly. Claim he riding, that's why I left his ass roadside. He gon' die. Skyscraper to a nosedive. 9mm plus P, fuck a 4-5. The fuck wrong with him? Ain't on my level, I should let my dog get him. I see niggas and they feelings, I don't feel them. Keep the Glockin' with me, it was like a ball with it. Be at the end, I gotta stay patient. They hate me, Lord, I gotta stay patient. You one of them? Yeah. What's the problem? I'm one west, go to war with everybody.
Somewhere on a stretch of road in a town you never heard of, there's a Chevy truck.
Yeah, on 44 shit, you know what I mean? Busy man. Look, when that shit drop, you step all the way on their neck, step on their neck and they head with that shit. Fine then, I ain't show no mercy, we gon' show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel, I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it, got it out the mud, straight to glory. They don't know how I get it, nice, but he don't show them skills, how I show them skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel, how I work the wheel. They mad, I'm too solid, circle tight, yeah, vacuum seal. No, they want my life, I ain't worried. I got rank for it, I got real soldiers, kill for me, nigga. Watch yourself. They say you been in beast mode lately, you is not yourself. When you dropping that fire, pressure smash, they inquiring. They can't stop what's coming, but I see them conspiring. Cross the line, them firing. This bitch here, finna break the spin. No kindness, I don't trust you, circle small. You can keep your features. Me and my niggas don't keep no secrets. And it feel like Jeepers Creepers. Say they want some smoke, dog. So I brought these chimney sweets. Coming like we coming, you can't even count. These niggas don't run it like that bitch fully loaded. Ooh, yeah, we up and rolling. Told him I need major motion. Think I'm joking. I'ma school them niggas like they baby Jody. Got it out the dust. Now I'm too clean. Don't know why they hate me. What you want out life, dog? Guns and butter, baby boy. You PK top, dog. Certified road runner. I'ma turn that Ecoline into a damn tank. I got choppers stashed in that attic like Dan Frank. They had that shit on lock until I snapped on them like bolt cutters. You cannot play both sides, gotta choose your colors. See him throwing that one up with that W, that's my blood, bro. Fine in. I ain't show no mercy, I'm gonna show them boy what time it is. I pop out like I'm Samuel. I got time to kill. Haters thought I died, I survived. They don't know how I did it. Got it out the gut, straight to glory. They don't know how I feel. He nice, but he don't show the skills how I show the skills. He ride, but he don't work the wheel how I work the wheel. Ooh, I got it made, circle tight, yeah, back and still. Said they want my life, I ain't worried, I got Ray for real. Dang! Killing motherfuckers. Stand over him, shoot him in the face. Say, no. Hey, listen, bro, you don't know me. I be this bitch tripping.
Pando killed the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all don't speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You a Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum. A gun that would die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear. How Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world, Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs. Bunch of thieves and culture vultures, ain't nothing kosher. Tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have to. Macedonia, Alexander, and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you litter. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. You BK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bastard and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil who is, I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody try to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'll punch you in person. I know this an uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt, anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I got a blasphemy of them, but they are too. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the Lord. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty and depression in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop it, ass shit. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Everybody gonna be boy, ass shit, stop it, ass shit. Prophets, my niggas serious. Boy, when they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, what the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the hoes in this world that don't go together. Nowhere is gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, she the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and know your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Oh, I'm with step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. Let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no token when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep me slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, your baby pass through the fire. Ain't she the prophets? That baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will fail you, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up, serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
All right. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barak Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Thumb Hashem, Yahweh Shah to the sisters. It's the ISUPK, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. On the leash with Commander Jeremy. Let's get out of here. Let's definitely get out of here. Again, it's the ISUPK, Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. On the leash with Commander General Yohana. Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shah for this truth. You understand? It's like God giving us something here in the ISUPK, the truth. And with this truth, you understand, you have everything with this truth. You understand? You got everything when we have this truth. You know what I'm saying? Right now we're in the Feast of Dedication. You know what I'm saying? We've been going over it all week. How we had destroyed the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? How we destroyed the Greeks in Metathias, in the book of Maccabees. They stood their ground. They was honorable. You understand? There was men that were willing to die for this truth. and went to war and won. You understand? So let's get out of here now as well. All right. Again, it's the ISUPK, Israelite School, Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. On the leash of Commander General Yohana. It's the ISUPK Syracuse. I'm preaching officer 500 South Yard. You understand what we're doing here in the ISUPK? We teach the Bible according to the truth, according to the records, what the Most High God requires of us to do, as well as that children of God is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that have been scattered abroad, North, South, Central America. You understand? Captive and colonized by the devil the Bible speaks of. You understand? Like Christopher Columbus, the white man, them in that nature. You understand? And today's really topic, and I'm going to get right into it, the law class. If you got any questions, pop it in. If you got any questions, y'all can go ahead and pop it in as well. All right. And today's topic, we're going to get into New Year's. You know what I'm saying? Today's topic, we're going to get into New Year's, the two-faced God. Those don't know about Janus. A lot of people is confused. A lot of people are confused. They get right into it. They got their New Year resolutions. They are ignorant of the truth. Again, New Year's, a lot of people don't know that. You're serving a two-faced God. You know what I'm saying? What we here in ISUPK, we're here to deliver the truth. You understand? According to the records of the Bible. A lot of people look at New Year's as a new way, a new start. They look at New Year's in January 1st as a new start. But in the Bible, according to the Bible, the new year is not, I'm saying, is April. Passover is our New Year's. Passover, according to the Bible, is our New Year's. And how do you know? When spring, things became new. Right now, when they celebrate things as New Year's, everything is dead. Everything is dead. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of knowledge on the God of the God Janus. If y'all don't know about the God Janus, Greek God, you know what I'm saying? The Greek God, as well as the Romans took that on as well. And they worship the God, the two-faced God. That's why you get the New Year's resolution, you understand? So I'm gonna read a real scripture real quick before, you know what I'm saying? Because again, we gotta know if New Year's, if it's a sin. Our thing is the New Year's that we celebrate in the world is sin. It's abomination to the Most High God, and God hates your New Year's. He hates your New Year resolution. Why? Because you ain't gonna keep your New Year resolution at all. You understand? Our people go get the collard greens. What's that for wealth? They get their black eyed peas. You understand? They go get these things, these fools, and they're really super superstitious. You understand? The book of Acts chapter 17, verse 22. I'm going to get that too as well. But first I want to read Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. I'm going to start right at the top at 1. Right? And it said, and God spake all these words, saying, verse 2, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Right now, we were taken out of the house of bondage just for us to be still bondage in our mind right now. By going to celebrating Christmas, going to celebrate New Year's, going, I'm saying, follow our oppressors, right? And follow them, give them the power to rule over us, to be in bondage. You understand? A lot of our people die on this so-called New Year's. A lot of our people die. A lot of our people die on their little so-called New Year's, don't they? Don't they die? But here, this is how you truly gonna live. If when you defeat and destroy, you know what I'm saying, their gods, their altars, their false gods, their idolatry, things of that nature. You understand? So the Most High God, he's saying this, and God spake all these words, saying, verse 2, I am the Lord thy God, which I brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Verse 3, thou shalt have no other gods before me. This is what the Most High God is saying. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Right? Verse 4. verse 4, right? Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or that is in the earth beneath, right? Or that is in the water underneath. Verse 5, thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. That's what the Most High God is saying, that when you celebrate New Year's, you hate the Lord. You hate God. You hate everything about him. You do the things that he say don't do. You feel me? Do everything the Lord say don't do. I got a little something for y'all real quick though. Right? I got a little clip real quick for Janus. Again, about Janus, the two-faced God. That's what you're really worshiping on New Year's Day. You come from the Greeks, the Romans. You understand? You're going to worship the two-faced God. Janus, the God of the past. That's why you do resolutions. And that's why you think you're going to become new when you're only going to be doing the same things you had. Nobody, about 95%, and I'm just being generous, about 95% never keeps their New Year resolution. That's how you know that it has no power in it. It's just a made-up God. People don't know about Janus, the Greek God. Romans kept it as well. But Janus is the two-faced God that have a face here, face in the back, that see the fruit, that so-called see the future and your past. That's why you have a New Year resolution. Like they think it's a transitioning. And they also worship the solstice, the equinox as well. Because what they do and these other nations do, they worship the gods that is, you know what I'm saying, that the so-called thing aligns and changes the equinox, how the sun is on the earth, on both hemispheres. You understand? That's what makes an equinox. How the sun, because remember the earth, it tilts as it rotates. So they think of how the sun is facing the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's why Groundhog Day, you look at it Groundhog Day because at that time, they know when spring going to come, so-called come, not because the groundhog is smart or anything like that, but because how the sun faces the earth and is equally aligned on both hemispheres to where they know, I bet, the sun is shining on the west and in the east coast. You know what I'm saying? Equally, right? So let me play this real quick, though, for those that's online as well. Hey, Shalom, how about Shanyal Shabrakatah? I'm saying Captain of Zion, 10,000 over upstate New York. You know what I'm saying? Putting in that work. Yeah, let me play this little video real quick for those that don't have no knowledge. Well, no understanding. What we're gonna do, we don't aim to bash our people, we aim to teach them, raise them up out the dead. You feel me? Like we was told to do and we was trained to do in the ISUBK. Under the leadership of Commander General Yohana, that have been, you know what I'm saying, have the authority under Christ to rule and lead Israel back to who we are, right? So let me just click this real quick. If you don't mind.
In this video, we're going to talk about Janus, the two-faced god of the Roman New Year. Welcome back to Bambas Bat. I've always been really fascinated by the god Janus, and so I thought as a celebration of the New Year 2025, I would make this video. Janus is the god of doorways, but he's also the god of gates. Now they sound very similar, but they are different. By gates, I do mean like gates into cities. So any doorway, but also really important gateways into cities. And he's actually so important that they
believe Janus is the doorway to the gates between, you know what I'm saying, future, past, things of that nature, right? But also you got to realize that they adopted this from the Greek, you know what I'm saying, the Greek gods, the Roman gods, as well as when Julius Caesar, they changed the calendar. You know what I'm saying? When Julius changed the calendar to the Julian calendar, you understand? And also the Gregorian calendar. You got to realize what they did when they changed the calendars to fit them. They added Janus, you know what I'm saying, January. February, which is another god. February. I'm saying Mars, things like that. These are gods that they named the months, the years, the days, the times after themselves and after their gods. So again, this is where Janus come from, because the Julian calendar, he followed the Roman gods, the Greek gods, and made this their New Year's. It was never ours as the children of God. We know that the Most High God told us our New Year is Passover. We kept the New Year the first month. It's Passover. And how you know this? Passover again. You got Passover this year, April 2nd, right? In Houston. No, April 4th, Slakia. We're going to be in Houston for Passover. But how you know it's everything new? Everything starting to rise and become new again. Right now, everything is dead. Nothing is new at all, right? Nothing is new. Nothing is rising right now. So this is how you know the God of Janus have no power unless we give it life. How do we give it life? I give it to you real quick. We give it life by worshiping it. We give it life by following it and I'm saying believing in and worshiping the God of Janus, the two-faced God, the Greek God, the Roman God. This is their God. This is their New Year's. We never follow the Julian calendar, the Gregorian, the Georgian calendar. You know what I'm saying? This is the New Year that they pushed upon us as they took over and colonized the whole world. And Julius Caesar implemented the Julian calendar and made January 1st New Year because they followed Janus, the two-faced God. The God, he have two faces. If you look up the picture of Janus, right, you could Google this. This is nothing that we make up. I just read it in the book of Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 through 5, how God said, don't serve no other gods before him. Don't bow down to no other gods, for he's a jealous God. And us not having an understanding about what we're doing and we're following the world is that we worshiping these other gods. We bow down to these other gods and wonder why it has no power. It's like in the book of Isaiah said, we serve gods that cannot save us. We make these New Year resolutions, not really even having the intent to really change. Because why? It's no power to make us change behind it. We don't have to. We be like, oh, everybody got the same New Year resolution for the last 10 years. I'm going to stop smoking. And then you're smoking. You say you're going to stop smoking for New Year's, but all New Year's Eve, you're getting high out your mind. You're getting so high out your mind, you ain't no way you're going to stop doing the drugs on New Year's Eve. Why? On New Year's Day, because you're going into New Year's high anyways. And then guess what? In your mind, you're going to be like, oh, I'll do it next year. I'll do it next year. I'll do it after that. We go get the collard greens, right? It's real big in our community. Go get the collard greens. I think that's for wealth, fortune, whatever the case may be. Get the black-eyed peas. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go to the church, high out our minds, right? Not having an understanding why this don't work. Why none of that works? Because why? We worshiping another God that has no power, no nothing. And we took that, we following them by doing it. So you go look up Janus, you look up the picture of Janus and see that it has two faces. One right here, one in the back. And like the video just said, they believe that it's the gateway, the doorway, the gates to the past and the future.
Name gives the Romans their word for a front door. Your door into your house is the Janua, and it's named after Janus. So he's quite an important god, and as we go through this video, you'll see more and more reasons why he is so important. You might not think the god of doorways will have a big effect on people's lives, but he becomes one of the most important gods in the Roman pantheon. But he's also given his name to January.
Yeah,
January
right?
is the first.
Think about it. Look at it like this, man. Every month, these people Julius Caesar that implemented the Julian calendar, you understand? They have these months aligned with their gods. So we go into January, which is after Janus. February is after February. You know what I'm saying? Mars, you know what I'm saying? And down the line. They have these gods that they implemented into our daily life. And then we go and say, yo, my birthday, I'm an Aquarius. I'm a Pisces. I'm a Capricorn. I'm a Scorpio, Virgo. These are other gods as well, but they're aligned with what they put in place. Julian calendar right now. And this is what he done. Put into line to where we're going to serve their gods. It's no different than the decrees that Pharaoh put upon us, King Nebuchadnezzar. Every time we was in captivity, remember, this is more like I think in the history, if you look it up, New Year's, they have to go back about 4,000 years, the Babylonians. You know what I'm saying? Implemented into when they ruled. Then, of course, the Greeks, you know what I'm saying, the Romans. And we know America is baby Rome, pretty much. America is modern day Babylon because they followed and they was birthed out of those kingdoms, those nations. America was only around since 1772 or something like that. Come out of these other nations. It's a baby. America is a baby compared to the kingdoms that they come out of. But they follow those same gods.
Month of the year, but it's also where the year begins, and that's because Janus is the god of new beginnings.
Janus
He's also
is
therefore the god
of the new beginnings. What else?
Of endings. This is why he has.
Janus is the god of new beginnings and endings. That's why they say, today they get high out their mind, right? And then they say, tomorrow it's a new year for me. I can stop being wicked. When they bring in their wickedness, the whole day is wicked. So they can't change nothing because they don't become new. The only way you're gonna come new, you gotta come up in here. Come a new creature, you're gonna really stop doing everything. You ain't gonna want to get high. You ain't gonna want to sleep with whores. You ain't gonna want to be a whoremonger. You ain't gonna want to do none of that stuff. You ain't gonna want to indulge in none of this wickedness once you learn to get an understanding, you know what I'm saying, on what's going on in this world. Again, they said Janus is the god of new beginnings and endings. That's why we can put our so-called New Year's resolution and say, tomorrow, I'm done getting high. But they're saying that while they're high. They're saying that while they're doing whatever they're doing. I'm going to stop tomorrow while they're doing it right now. There's no way that can happen because you're doing it following the false God. And if you so-called believe in the Bible, you so-called believe in the Most High God, that is a sin itself because we was told in Exodus 20 to not do that. But us as the people, we are so superstitious. That's what Paul said in the book of Acts chapter 17, verse 22. He told us, y'all is so superstitious. You know how we is. Step on the crack, you break your mama back. You know what I'm saying? What your ear twitch, your eye, whatever it is, your eyebrows twitch, your hand itching. We believe in so many different things that we give it power because we believe in it. But it's not, it never happens. You know how many cracks we broke? We stepped on, my mom's back is still strong. You feel what I'm saying? Let me play that. I'm just going to play a little bit more real quick.
Two faces. He looks backwards into the past and forwards into the future.
Backwards into the past.
So January the 1st is a really important day in the worship of Janus. New Year's Day is very important. As I said, Janus is a double-faced god.
Janus is
the
a
god with the two faces.
We don't deal with two-faced.
Although he's
in our community, if somebody's two-faced, we know they're not loyal. You know what I'm saying? They sneaky. When we say somebody two-faced, now we're gonna trust Janus, a double-faced god, two-faced god.
In charge of endings and beginnings and doorways and gates. Because of this ending and beginning, he's also in charge of life and death. Now that's a huge remit.
Our people die a lot. Our people die on this day. New Year's Eve, they out getting high, they getting drunk out their mind. And Janus, they said, is a two-faced God. He's a God of new beginners. He's a God of endings. He's a God of the doorways. And guess what? They say he's the God of life and death. This is what's going on when we indulge in this so-called New Year's, which is nothing. It's not a new year. Again, our oppressors implemented this into our daily life. Janus is the God of, you know what I'm saying, new beginnings, endings, life and death. He got his own month, January. You know what I'm saying? Every month, we go into it every month about these holidays that they put in these months for a specific reason. And they worship the sun. They worship the sun. Again, they're doing it by how the sun is and the earth is aligned. How the sun's shining on both hemispheres, things like that. But right now, we don't see nothing out there, which means nothing new about the season that we're in right now.
We've gone from doors to everything, life, beginnings of life, so births and deaths. He looks backwards into the past as well as forwards into the future. So he's a perfect God to celebrate at the beginning of the new year. He's the person who can pull you into the future while still remembering the important parts from your past. One thing that tells us how important Janus was to the Romans is the gates of war. Now, in the Roman Forum, there's this huge set of gates. In some accounts, it's a temple that has massive gates. In others, it's just a set of gates. The important thing is the gates that are involved in that structure. These gates...
Let me get to another article real quick, too. I just want y'all to see a little bit on that, right? To see why we don't serve this two-faced God. Janus is a two-faced God, double-faced, one in the front, one in the back, because they believe that he see the future and the past. He's the death. He's, not I'm saying, the God of new beginnings and the ending, life and death. He's the doorway, they say, right? Look at this little clip of this article as well. The history of New Year's resolution. The custom of making New Year's resolution has been around for thousands of years, but it hasn't always looked the way it does today, right? Because remember, the scripture said nothing new under the sun. You feel me? Everything we think America doing comes from who they follow, come from their father, the Roman Empire, the Greeks, Babylonians. You understand? So let's get to it. The ancient Babylonians are said to have been the first people to make New Year's resolution, some 4,000 years ago. They were also the first to hold recorded celebrations in honor of the new year. Though for them, the year began not in January, but in mid-March, when the crops were planted. This goes into what I was saying about this January New Year's was implemented by, of course, we follow the Julian calendar. For those that don't know about the Julian calendar, Julius Caesar. You understand? He put in these holidays. He followed the Greek gods. He followed the Roman gods. You understand? So he made sure that he put it into our daily life, our daily belief. You understand? So let's get to it. During a massive 12-day religious festival known as Akitu, the Babylonians crowned a new king or reaffirmed their loyalty to the reigning king. They also made promises to the gods to pay their debts and return any objects they had borrowed. These promises could be considered the forerunners of our New Year's resolution. If the Babylonians kept to their word, their pagan gods will bestow favor on them for the coming year. This is what they believe. Our people believe, and we still have to we follow that same belief ignorantly. We're stupid. We're not having no understanding of what we're doing. We're just doing it. All right. If not, they will fall out of the God's favor, a place no one wants to be. That's what the Babylonians believed, and when they follow their New Year's, right? Let's get to it. Why it's in January now. Remember, just said it wasn't in January when the Babylonians was doing it 4,000 years ago. But as kingdoms and as rulers change, some changes come up into who God get worshipped, who God gets celebrated, who God is so-called supposed to be real, right? A similar practice occurred in ancient Rome after the reform-minded emperor Julius Caesar tinkered with the calendar and established January 1st as the beginning of the new year, circa 46 BC, named for Janus, the two-faced god whose spirit inhabited doorways and arches. January has special significance for the Romans, believing that Janus symbolically looked backwards into the previous year and ahead into the future. The Romans offered sacrifices to the deity and made promises of good conduct for the coming year. Woo! All right, you see that bump? The Babylonians, they worship their gods, right? By thinking, even though it wasn't in January, it still had the same concept. To be like, I bet, on this day we're going to worship our God, you know what I'm saying, do certain things, make certain sacrifices to where we obtain favor from our God by doing whatever New Year resolutions that our people do, right? So then they say, okay, bet. Julius Caesar do the same thing, a real famous emperor, Roman Empire, bro, right? And he said, I bet we're gonna reform this, we're gonna establish, he messed with the calendar, added their days, you understand? And said, yo, it's not gonna be April, right? Our New Year is gonna be in January. Why? Because we worship Janus. You understand? And like he said, it said, name for Janus, the two-faced God whose spirit inhabited doorways and arches. January had special significance for the Romans, believing that Janus symbolically looked backwards into the previous year and ahead into the future. The Romans offered sacrifices to the deity and made promises of good conduct. And made sacrifices, right, to the deity and made promises of good conduct for the coming year. Same thing what our people do today. They New Year's resolution. Hey, yo, some even say, yo, I'm gonna start going to church. But they should not even be going there. See, I'm gonna go to church more often in 2026. They're gonna say, yo, I'm gonna go to church more often in 2026. I'm gonna stop doing drugs in 2026. I'm gonna exercise more in 2026. You know what I'm saying? Why are they saying all this? They're doing the drugs. Why they saying all this? They out being a whore. Why they saying, yo, I'm gonna change tomorrow? They're going into tomorrow being a whore. They're going into tomorrow being a drug addict. They're going into tomorrow worshiping Janus. Right? Let me keep going a little bit. So for early Christians, the first day of the new year became the traditional occasion for thinking about one's past mistakes and resolving to do and be better in the future. In 1740, the English clergyman John Wesley, founder of what? Methodism, the church denomination, right? Created the covenant renewal service, most commonly held on New Year's Eve. Woo! This is where I come from. He established that. You ask a lot of our people, wait, what you going to be doing New Year's Eve? I'm going to church. John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, he started that, right? Hopefully I get this. Hopefully I'll be at the SU game working. I'll be slaving. Hopefully I'll be slaving at the SU game on that day while y'all want to go. You know what I'm saying? Get a little overtime. You know what I'm saying? Get a little overtime. That's what I want to do. Shalom, y'all about to shop with the thigh. Preaching off to your quarters out 500 out in Buffalo. Mighty brother, mighty priest. You understand it? And then Captain Zion said, God of the door. That's why a man has to walk through the door of New Year's Day. You hear that? We just think that this is something new. And we take it part into the worshiping of Janus, taking part into the worshiping of believing that gateways, right? Giving us the power to be like, I bet, giving us the strength to be like, I bet I could get over whatever they did in 2025, 2027, and so forth, and they've been doing it the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Again, they about to have church. They're gonna be in there high out their mind, right? So I just read that. Let me read this one more time. For early Christians, the first day of the new year became the traditional occasion for thinking about one's past mistakes and resolving to do and be better in the future. In 1740, the English clergyman John Wesley, founder of Methodism, created the covenant renewal service. Hear that? The covenant renewal service. They're thinking now in this service, they're renewing the covenant with the Most High, or with what they self, but they're making a covenant every New Year's with Janus, right? Most commonly held on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, also known as watch night services. Woo! See, I heard of watch night services, but I never knew where it came from. I just thought that, you know what I'm saying, I know they do it, but I bet they don't even know why they do it. They just go there, high out their mind. You know what I'm saying? Going there, they're leaving church to be a whore. They're going there to pick who they go to sleep with. They say for the last night of the year, and wake up to the person the first day of their year, right? You start making mistakes. You're going into your new year with habits and mistakes, right? And they said watch night services. Good night. I bet they don't know that. They just calling it that. But now we know why. They included reading from scriptures and hymn singing, and served as a spiritual alternative to the Rekish celebrations, normally held to celebrate the coming of the new year. Now popular with the evangelical Protestant churches, especially, guess what? African American denominations and congregations. Watch night services held on New Year's Eve are often spent praying and making resolutions for the coming year, right? Despite the tradition's religious roots, New Year's resolutions today are a mostly secular practice. Instead of making promises to the gods, most people make resolutions only to themselves and focus purely on self-improvement. It's what they think. But by indulging in that, you're making the promises and the sacrifices to Janus. The same way if you go cut that turkey on their Thanksgiving, and they say, "Oh, we're just getting together, just we're just getting with the family. We're just getting with the family. We're just having a meal. We're just eating." Nope. You get together on that day, cut your turkey and get your little ham and yams and all that. You're just making the same sacrifice. You're indulging in the same belief that they believe in. Christmas. You go to your grandma's house and get that gift, you're celebrating Christmas. Listen, man, we burnt the tree here. Right outside the school, we like this. Let's burn this thing. You know what I'm saying? We want nothing to do with no tree. We want nothing to do with y'all little gifts. We want nothing to do with Nimrod. We want nothing to do with the God that y'all believe in on that day. People say, "Yo, it's Christ's birthday." The church is teaching that it's Christ's birthday. Growing up, they do a Christmas play. And guess what? The Christmas play. You got a kid playing baby Jesus. You got somebody playing Joseph. You got somebody playing the three wise men. You got somebody, and you got gifts. And it's a Christmas play. A Christmas play that my mind should make me be in as well. A Christmas play. I never got to baby Jesus. I never got to play baby Jesus though. I never got to play that. I never got to play Baby Jesus, so never got that part. Well, self-improvement, which may explain why such resolutions seem so hard to follow through on. Nobody never keeps their New Year's resolution. I know when I was in the world, neither did I. Neither did I. You know why? Because in my mind, I say, up, I do it. It's another New Year's coming up. I do it then. That's what I said. I said I'm gonna do it then. Right? According to recent research, while as many as 45% of Americans say they usually make New Year's resolution, only 8% are successful in achieving their goals. But that dismal record probably won't stop people from making resolutions anytime soon. After all, we've had about 4,000 years of practice. All right. Let me get into it. Let me see. Let me go another thing for y'all real quick though. I read Exodus 20 about serving other gods. Let's see what Paul said though real quick. The book of Acts chapter 17, starting at 16. You know, Paul's going around to Israel, the lost sheep of Israel, right? You're going around to the lost sheep of Israel, teaching them the truth, letting them know who they are, breaking down the altars and destroying the gods that they bound down to because they are following Greek gods, right? Same thing like today, following Greek gods, Roman gods, every god but our God, right? The Most High God, right? The living God, right? It's the book of Acts chapter 17, start at 16. Now, while Paul waited for them at Athens, right, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. That's how he is. When I see a Christmas tree, I'm my slave. After we just burnt it. After we just burnt the tree out here, they put a Christmas tree out our slave and gifts under it. And I'm like, should kick that thing over. Why is this sitting here? You know what I'm saying? Downtown in the middle of Syracuse, right? Christmas. They got a Christmas tree. Then they got a menorah as well next to it. You know what I'm saying? But here Paul said, now, while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in him when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry. Same thing right now, right? You see everybody's there, yo, what you doing for New Year's? What you doing for New Year's? What you doing for New Year's Eve? Have the biggest New Year's party, right? You go to Times Square and see the ball drop, not knowing anything about the God of Janus. Don't know nothing about Janus, right? I just broke down what Janus is about. The God of new beginnings and endings. The door, the gateway. You gotta walk through, like Cap said, you gotta walk through them doors. Janus is another god that we worship. Our people worship when they say New Year's resolution because they believe that they get a new beginning by making sacrifices to Janus. Again, this is what was implemented into our calendar by Julius Caesar because we follow the Julian calendar. You understand? So I just read in the book of Acts chapter 17, right? Verse 16. Now while Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred in hell when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry, right? And we just read in Exodus 20, 1 through 5, the Lord is a jealous God, right? Verse 17. Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons, and in the market daily with them that met with him. Disputed. He's like, yo, like, how we do it? Yo, we breaking it down. We saying we having little disputes. You know what I'm saying? Nothing crazy. Just to edify you, though, just to teach you, just to show you why. We burnt the tree out here. We had a brother coming up like, yo, why? Why? I know we know, but what about the kids? You want me to lie to the kids? Lie to the kids, say, yo, Santa coming through the chimney. We don't be like, yo, where the chimney at? We don't have a chimney. We poor. Still leave cookies out, y'all. Still leave cookies out for Santa. He's going to bring these gifts in here. And guess what? Your dad may go commit a crime, rob somebody, and guess what your gift for Christmas? Your daddy going to jail. Your mama about to go out there and probably sell her tail for some gifts, and guess what? As HIV, as some STD or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got, for us to escape all those possibilities, let's not do it. That's the disputes we have. You understand? Verse 18. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him. And some said, what will this babbler say? That's what they even say to us. What y'all talking about, man? We come around and be like, what are you going to say now? Babblers. We just talk too much, right? Just talk too much. The babblers. You know what I'm saying? We are everything we're going to say this time. What are we going to do now, right? Others so he seemed to be a setter forth of strange gods. They saying we serving something strange. When we say, yo, yeah, we don't do birthdays. We don't do New Year's. We don't do Thanksgiving. We don't do Christmas. We don't do Valentine's Day. You know, we don't do y'all little Easter. You know what I'm saying? We don't serve no bunny. You understand? We don't do no Labor Day, none of y'all days. We don't vote. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe in none of that stuff y'all believe in. Oh, yo, y'all worship y'all. There's something strange about y'all. Whatever you think is strange about us, guess what? You think the Lord is strange. And guess what? We're going to be strange for the Most High. You understand? We're going to be fools for the Lord. While you think you're being wise, we're going to be fools for the Lord. You understand? We're going to show how dumb, how smart, stupid you really are. You understand? Because he preached unto them Yahweh Shai in the resurrection. They're saying we fools, and they're saying we teaching a strange God where we say Christ is black. We serve the nigger God. They say, oh, shoot. They teach you something different. They strange. They too extreme about this. You know what I'm saying? They be like, yeah, we know what y'all saying is true, but come on, man. We had a slave today, right? Priest Nohayala, he telling you like, yo, man, I don't know about y'all, but I want the world. We want the world. We want to rule. They're like, damn, we want to rule the world. Like we was promised. We was promised in the scriptures that we're going to rule the world. And how do you start ruling the world of today? First and foremost, destroy everything and stop doing the thing that they use to rule over us. How can we rule over the world when we do the thing that they use to rule over us? By indulging in their gods, worshiping their gods. It's not saying to hell with your God. If you're gonna follow the Bible, man, we gotta be able to have the courage to say no, my eye to whatever they try to put upon us. The swine, they got us some pieces like the slave today. Half is swine and half is cheese. We don't want that cheese that's touching the swine. We need that new box right there. But our people don't have the courage to say no. They don't have the courage to be like, yo, if he's going to take my life, if I'm going to lose my life and lose something to gain the honor from the Most High God, take it all. I don't care what, take it all. They're not willing to say to hell with your New Year's for Passover. We in Houston, man. April 4th. All week we in Houston, right? To hell with y'all little New Year's y'all about to do, right? We're going to be in Houston. All the family coming together. From the UK, from everywhere. Puerto Rico, from Haiti. And that's actually the New Year that you can read about in the book of Leviticus chapter 23. When it tells us our holy days. You understand? And in the first year, the first month of the year, we keep Passover. Not no God of Janus. But to them, they say, yo, we teaching something strange. We say Christ coming back to destroy these nations and put them in chains and rule over them with a rod of iron. And guess what? We with them on the side of them. Here in the iron should be king. The elect that's willing to rule and have authority with Christ. You ain't getting no goddamn authority if you ain't willing to say no to New Year's and put the drugs down. Leave the whores alone. You know what I'm saying? Burning the Christmas tree. We'll go to verse 19. Verse 19. And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus, saying, man, we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is. That's what they say to us. They think Christianity is the truth. When we come out and tell them the truth about, we the 12 tribes of Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, Native American, we the 12 tribes of Israel that have been scattered abroad, North, South, Central America, all four corners of the earth, and serving our enemies. We go into Deuteronomy 28 and say, yo, listen, who this happened to? You know what I'm saying? We go in the book of Revelation and say, yo, there's only 12 gates. You know what I'm saying? And the children of Israel is the only ones that are going to be in the kingdom of heaven. When you read the book of Revelation, chapter 21, we say the new heaven comes down. You know what I'm saying? The old heaven is destroyed. The rulership is switched. Their heaven is destroyed. They're in heaven now. When we go into the records of saying, Christ is going to return. 200 million angels on chariots, what they call UFOs, for war, and unaliving all the other nations. They're like, what is this new doctrine you're talking about? Have you not been reading the Bible? Have you not been reading the records of the Most High God that was left here? Do they not understand that Christ is prophesied to come and be king? A son shall be born. They don't understand that. They're like, what is this new doctrine he's talking about, man? No, we ain't doing nothing new. That same thing on the leash with Commander Jerry Hahn, the eyes should be king. I'm teaching the same thing since 1969, man. You're saying the same thing over here, the same thing they're saying out there in Vegas. The police officer Shalimar. He ain't saying nothing different. You know what I'm saying? Out there in Austin. Police officer Kadawa. He ain't saying nothing different. That's why you got Captain Cotters out there as well. You know what I'm saying? What they doing, they got across the table. You know what I'm saying? Captain Yachty. You understand? Everywhere, we all say the same thing. And then we go to records and be like, they've been saying we break it down from Genesis to Revelations. Right? They say, what's this new doctrine you're talking about? It's nothing new. Right? Verse 20. For thou bringest certain strange things to our ears. We wouldn't know therefore what these things mean. They're like, we bring some strange things to their ear. They're like, hold on, you don't do New Year's? Why not? Break down the God of Janus. We go break down the God of Janus, the Greek God, the Roman gods. You understand that? The God of the doorway, the God of the gates, the God of the new beginnings, the God of the endings, the God of life and death. This is what they say about Janus, the Roman God, the Greek God. Just look it up. The two-faced God. The two-faced God, the guy that got a face right here and a face in his back. What they call that, and that's like a Gemini. That's what they say, right? Again, in our community, we can't trust a two-faced individual. If I can't trust a two-faced person, what makes you think I'm gonna trust a two-faced God? That's what Janus is for you. You understand? They're like, you teaching us something strange. We're like, no, we just teaching you the Bible. You understand? Verse 21. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else, but either to tell or to hear some new thing. Now, like when we start going into the records, our people like this. They start going to look it up. They can't get their mind off of what we just said about Janus, what we just said about Christmas, what we just said about Valentine's Day, what we just said about every holiday that they worship. They can't get their mind off it. The things that they think is new. And we like, yo, it's been around since. It's the truth. You understand? Verse 22. And then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill and said, ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious. Our people are too superstitious, right? Thinking that you're going to be able to do a New Year's resolution and change your life and have a better year than you had last year. It's not happening. It's not happening. Because now you got to understand the origin and where this come from. Where do this thinking come from? Where do this belief come from? Where do this doctrine come from? Oh, Greek mythology. If you believe in Janus, you might as well follow Zeus. You might as well follow. Guess what you do? Because you believe God came down and slept with men. That's not in the Bible, but you get that from Greek mythology. And this is why you're following New Year's in January, because Janus, Greek god. You might as well follow all that stuff. If you're gonna follow New Year's, you might as well go get the Greek mythology book and follow Zeus. You know what I'm saying? You might as well go follow the whole thing. Right? Verse 23. For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription to the unknown God, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship. Woo! Him declare I unto you. You ignorantly worship all these other gods instead of knowing who our God is. Yahweh is his name, the Most High God. Our King Yahweh Shah, with the word inwardly called Jesus Christ. You understand? We got to know who we are. We got to know who our God is, so we can destroy and not worship those false gods. You understand? Verse 24. The Most High that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands. This guy right here that we doing New Year's is the God made with hands. You understand? You go, it's like the same thing with Islam. You're going to walk around the Mecca, you're going to touch that rock. You know what I'm saying? With our God, you can't, it's bigger than our hands. Bigger than what we can even understand. You understand? Verse 25. Neither is worship with men's hands, as though he needed anything. With their God, they need to be born. And the scripture says, their God need to be born. They need us to give it life because it can't do it. It's dead. We serve the living God that's living. You understand? That moves, that gives life. Our people die worshiping their gods and stay dead. Buddha dead. Muhammad dead. You understand? They all dead. Our King, our God lives. Our King lives. When we follow our King, we follow what the Most High God say, we rise up out the dust. We rise up and live. You understand? All right. Neither is worship with men's hands, as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath in all things. Right? That's what happens, man. Stop doing that New Year's. It's not a New Year's. It's just a new day. You understand? New Year, we're going to be in Houston. You understand? Passover. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be ISUBK, Passover, the Lord's Passover. We're going to be in Houston, man. April 4th. We're going to be out there all week. You understand? We got the slaughter of the lamb. You understand? We're going to have a scripture breakdown class with General Muhammad. Bring all your questions out there. all black party, y'all know what it is. You understand? And then we got the Passover, man. When we dress and get right, come together, have our lamb, have our yayin. You understand? And get amongst our brethren, amongst our wafians, our akim, our wafians. You understand? Then we got the feast on leavened bread. Pay your $200 Passover fee because it's worth more. It's worth more. But to know what Commander General Yohana has, the Lord put on Commander General Yohana, the generals, and our host this year, Houston, is worth more. You understand? So with that, man, make sure you're out there in Houston, the real New Year's. You understand? Make sure you're out there when we out there. Passover, April 4th, man. With that, Islam. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat to the brothers. Yahweh Shabbat to the sisters.